corner. Let's go.
What one hopes for here is that Wilson will give some work to Briggs, give a challenge to Briggs, and of course Wilson hopes to give him a lot more.
First requirement, weather the first round storm. Briggs charges across the ring and begins looking for opportunity right away. Hard left hook by Briggs. Darrol Wilson has never been knocked down, but Briggs has twice connected now with that left hook. Hook lands. Wilson wobbly. Briggs trying to finish him right away, as he's done in each of the last 3 bouts. Wilson needs to grab and hold here, George.
Briggs has got to establish himself not only the big puncher, but he should jab.
And you saw the roundhouse miss by Briggs that brought him back to the center of the ring. Wilson may well have weathered that early storm, and now Briggs settles into a more tactical position.
Briggs has got to understand that if you're going to be tall, you're going to be big, you're going to have to use that big left jab. Coming up young, a lot of fighters get a few first, second round knockouts. They forget about the jab.
I think he just remembered it, George.
Wilson starting to get himself going in the fight. Lands a straight right hand and comes back with a left. Now Shannon Briggs smiling at him as if to say, oh, you think you can fight with me? Briggs blocking that right hand try by Wilson.
Young fighters got to understand that once a guy weather your storm, you can't back away and look at him. You got to bluff him if it's no more than moving your feet as though you want him again. Little tricks like that comes with time. But if you stand back, they think, oh, he's tired, and then he'll attack you.
So Briggs has already shown you 2 things he still has to learn, huh?
Yep, when you're not throwing punches after you've been on the attack, bluff like you've got more if you don't.
Left hook lands in close for Briggs. Goes back to the jab. Wilson says, I can jab with you. There'll be no first round knockout tonight for Shannon Briggs.
Showed us something in that round.
Work on that. Relax. Take a deep breath. Take it out. Relax. Do not allow yourself to panic. Do not allow yourself to doubt yourself. You understand? There's no different than when a guy tries to make a run in the gym. There's no difference. You understand? That's it. All right. Now take a deep breath.
Calm down, just like in the gym, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You can beat him,
up there. You can beat this guy, man. Keep putting that jab to his ass.
That's all.
There's Briggs boring in early in the fight, but Wilson is staying right with him, covering up, hanging in there. As I said earlier, an undefeated fighter can be hard to beat because he doesn't think he can be beat. Both trainers have tried to settle down their young fighters by reminding them it's just a fight, just like in the gym, only a lot more so, George.
This is when the gym really pays off.
Converted southpaw Darrol Wilson into the second round with Shannon Briggs. And Briggs, having taken a couple of hard punches in the first round, is considerably more cautious as round 2 begins.
And Shannon Briggs Got to establish he's a bit taller, use that extra reach jab. It's not a shame to let a guy off the hook. It's a shame if you don't go back to the boxing skills you know you have. And sometimes young fighters get frightened. I didn't knock him out. Now he's hitting me, and they panic.
One thing I may have noticed, George, is that after he lands a punch, Briggs doesn't move his head, doesn't go from side to side expecting something back in return.
Well, when you get a lot of knockouts, that's the bad habits that follow you. You wait to assess your damage.
Briggs doesn't appear to have much head movement at all, George.
Not at all, but
that's why he's getting hit with stuff like that.
Now Wilson is developing some courage. That might works to Shannon Briggs' advantage. He can catch him when he's trying to hit him.
Well, that's fine as long as Briggs doesn't mind tasting leather.
You're going to taste leather in this business, and sometimes an undefeated fighter who's had his path pretty much sweet for him, it's hard to realize this is a tough business. People hit you.
Darrol Wilson, obviously an effective athlete. High school baseball and football star. Took up boxing relatively late.
Briggs' corner should tell a young fighter like that, hey, move to Wilson's left, keep your jab going, so he has to reach out with his shorter arm reach to hit you with a right hand.
Body shot by Wilson, backs Briggs up momentarily. Briggs again getting hit. Now he knocks Wilson back with a left jab. And comes back with a left hook to the body.
Briggs has to understand that the damage he keeps doing, it's in the middle of the ring. So when the guy gets on the rope, he seems to react and survive. Keep doing your damage in the middle of the ring. Don't wait. Don't try to finish him off. It'll happen on its own.
Wilson continues to connect at a relatively high percentage. Briggs without head movement and showing a tendency to admire his work.
I love it.
I got him wrong. To make you think negative or to doubt yourself. All right? Pull yourself together and let's be a pro. I know what talent you have. I know what size you have. I know what strength you have. Act like a goddamn pro. Do you understand what I mean by that? All right? Now listen. This is what I want. He's got you, his greatest defense is to get you to think that you got him for one and to get you to think he's doing more than he's doing. Just because he's steady. That's all he is. Now listen, use your jab, don't look for one punch. And when you miss the right hand, come back with the hook to the body and make it two to the body.
He ain't got no heart. Take a deep breath.
Seconds out. Yeah, let's go, seconds out. Behind the jab, all right? And no posing, no posing.
You heard at the end there Teddy Atlas talking about what we were talking about, Jim and George. Don't pose after you hit the man a punch. Move.
Shannon Briggs in the black and gold trunks against Darrol Wilson in the black and red. The initial excitement of Briggs' early storm has worn off, and this is developing for the moment into a tactical bout.
One thing about Wilson, if this fight can continue like this, he's the smaller. Those hard punches Briggs is landing on him is going to have some effect more on the lighter weight guy. If you're going to do what you're going to do it and be done with it. Don't stand there and be hit.
Briggs landed a straight right hand and again stood and watched afterward. This time Wilson didn't have the counter comeback.
Now this is to Wilson's advantage. You want to stay close like this, because then whenever he hits you, you can hit him back. His head is up there for you. You don't have to reach out. Briggs has got to understand that. Keep yourself away from these little guys.
And again, the absence of head movement for Briggs, making it possible for Wilson to connect consistently inside.
Another thing Briggs may have to learn, as George was suggesting before, is to be able to fake his opponent. He just shook his head as if to clear it, signaling Wilson that he may be a little dazed.
That's true, and that's pretty amateurish. These are the things that trainers cannot teach a guy. You've got to ask other fighters who are old in the gym to tell you about these things.
Left eye, or check it, the right eye of Shannon Briggs is cut. He's got a cut beside and maybe above the right eye. And that's a big target for Wilson, and he floors Shannon Briggs. This is over. Tremendous upset victory for Darrol Wilson.
Well, Jim and George, if you recall earlier I said, what is it the management know that we don't? We may just have found out.
And we told you about the rumors he'd been floored in the gym. He appeared to be mildly dazed, George, before that one punch, but in effect, he was knocked out by one left hook.
And not only that, it's no longer a rumor. He's been knocked down in a professional fight.
What mattered in the gym doesn't matter now. He tasted canvas here before the biggest audience of his burgeoning career.
And Wilson is at home. You get a crowd like that behind a guy, it makes him size.
So first the cut, and then 20 or 30 seconds later, the knockout. Let's take another look. There it was, short left hook inside. What do you think, George?
I think the initial cut disturbed Shannon Briggs so much. He reached to touch his eye. I cannot be cut, and from that point on, he didn't need a punch. He was already defeated. But the punch was just incidental.
That's amazing. He just caved in. I mean, you could see him slow up as soon as the blood began to flow from the cut near the right eye. Take another look at this knockout punch, George. I'm not even sure it landed on the point of the chin.
That it was, but it was the initial cut. A guy being getting himself in a territory that he's unfamiliar with, it'll just make you panic. This is a sport, most of the time.